Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I'm capable of more than this? Not just more money, not just more success, but more control, more power over your own mind. You wake up, scroll mindlessly. You say you'll focus, but distractions win. You say you're calm, but one wrong word ignites your temper. You try to stay strong, but emotions pull the strings behind the curtain. This isn't laziness, it's not weakness, it's an untrained mind. And if you don't train it, someone else will. Society, toxic people, your past traumas, they'll all step in and do the programming for you. And you'll wake up one day living a life that was never yours to begin with. But here's what they never taught you. Your mind is a muscle, and like any muscle, it can be rebuilt, reinforced, weaponized. When you master that, your world doesn't just change, it obeys. This is Stoic, mate, and today you stop reacting and start rewiring. Let's begin. Number 1, your mind is a slave until you break it. Your mind is not free, not yet. Right now, it's a slave, trained by comfort, conditioned by chaos, and ruled by emotion. You've been programmed since day one, taught to chase validation, taught to avoid pain, taught to obey emotions as if they're facts. But listen carefully, not every emotion deserves a reaction, not every thought is a command. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But you can't realize that if your mind still bows to impulse. Dark psychology understands this perfectly. The world doesn't manipulate your body, it manipulates your mind. Through guilt, through shame, through fear. And as long as your mind reacts to those triggers, you're a puppet, not a player. So what's the antidote? Break the pattern. Interrupt the loop. Stop letting every emotion dictate your direction. Your mind must be disciplined, not pampered. Fed with focus, sharpened with silence, strengthened by resistance. Comment below, I command my mind. It obeys. Let it be a signal that you're not here to be ruled, you're here to rule. Hit that like button if you're ready to break free. Because in the next section, we're going to expose the true enemy, comfort. Number 2, why comfort is the enemy of power. Comfort is the modern man's drug of choice. It doesn't scream, it doesn't slap, it softly whispers, "You're fine, just rest, you've earned it." And before you know it, you're trapped. Not in chains, in habits. You sleep in a little longer. Skip the gym just once. Ignore the voice telling you to grind, to fight, to push. But here's the brutal truth. Comfort is a silent killer. It doesn't rob you in one blow. It bleeds your ambition drop by drop, until you wake up a stranger to your own potential. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." So why do we avoid the very thing that makes us great? Because comfort feels good, and feeling good is the bait. But real power, the kind that commands respect, builds legacy, earns freedom, never comes from feeling good. It comes from choosing the hard path when no one's watching. It comes from disciplining yourself when your emotions beg for mercy. And here's the part most people will never tell you. Comfort will never satisfy you. You'll sit in the soft chair, scrolling for hours, wondering why you still feel restless. Because deep down, your soul knows this isn't your final form. Your mind knows it's meant to be trained, tested, transformed. Dark psychology exploits this weakness daily. Marketing, media, society, they all profit from your laziness, because a comfortable mind is an obedient one. You want power? Reject comfort. Wake up earlier than your excuses. Say no when it burns. Do the work, especially when no one's clapping. Every time you choose discomfort, you cast a vote for your future self. Every time you delay gratification, you build the rarest kind of confidence, earned confidence. Comment below right now, discomfort is my discipline. Let the world know you don't chase ease, you chase evolution. And if you're still with me, hit that like button so we reach more minds ready for war. Because next, we dig into the Stoic law that rewires how you see pain, chaos, and control. Number 3, Stoic discipline. Control what you can, ignore what you can't. There's a reason the Stoics never wasted time complaining. They understood something most people still haven't grasped. Control is an illusion, unless it starts with the mind. You don't control the weather. You don't control what others say. You don't control rejection, betrayal, failure, or chaos. But here's what you do control: your response, your focus, your interpretation of every storm that hits. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's not a quote, it's a war strategy. Because when you stop wasting energy on the uncontrollable, you unlock a superpower: mental discipline. The modern world is full of emotional addicts, triggered by tweets, enraged by traffic, crushed by opinions, obsessed with validation, enslaved by things they'll never own. That's why you feel drained. Your mind is trying to fix what's not yours to fix. Stoicism slices through all that. It says, focus on your posture, not the storm. Train your discipline like a sword. Sharpen it against the grind of adversity. When someone disrespects you, you control your dignity. When plans fall apart, you control your focus. When life punches you in the mouth, you don't cry. You spit blood, smile, and recalibrate. Comment below, I protect my peace. I control my response. Because that's where freedom begins, not in fantasy, but in focus. And if this just hit you in the gut, tap like and share it. Let someone else sharpen their blade. Now, we dive deeper. Let's talk about emotional manipulation and how dark psychology uses it to hijack weak minds. Number 4, dark psychology, outsmarting emotional manipulation. Let me tell you something most people never figure out. If you can't control your emotions, someone else will. That's not philosophy. That's war. Every manipulator, every narcissist, every smooth-talking fraud, they all study one thing: your reaction. They don't need to overpower you. They just need to trigger you, make you feel guilty, make you feel ashamed, make you feel unworthy, so they can feel in control. That's how weak minds get puppeteered in plain sight, but not you. Not if you learn what the Stoics mastered and what dark psychology reveals. Your emotions are signals, not commands. And just because someone knows how to push your buttons, doesn't mean you have to dance. This is where true power begins, not by raising your voice, but by lowering your emotional availability, by observing instead of reacting, by letting silence do the talking. Understand this. People only manipulate what they think they can control. If they see that your mind is fortified, that your peace cannot be disturbed, they retreat or they break trying. You want to become untouchable, make your mind a fortress. When someone tries to guilt trip you, ask yourself, is this about truth or control? When someone tries to bait you with drama, remember, silence is a strategy, not weakness. Comment below, my silence is power, my focus is mine. Let that be your new armor in a world designed to provoke. Smash that like button if you're done being emotionally hijacked, because next, we build mental toughness, brick by brick. Number 5, mental reps, daily drills for a ruthless mind. A ruthless mind isn't born, it's built. Not in chaos, not in crisis, but in repetition. Discipline is not a feeling, it's a system. a daily drill that turns weakness into instinct and instinct into dominance. You brush your teeth every morning. Why? Because hygiene matters. So, why not mental hygiene? Why don't you train your thoughts with the same consistency? Here's how warriors of the mind are built. Wake up before the world does. Not because it's trendy, because it puts you in control. Write down your mission for the day. One goal, one win, one target to eliminate excuses. Control your first thoughts. Do not touch your phone. Do not scroll. Instead, command your mind before the world poisons it. Then enter resistance on purpose. Cold showers, hard workouts, zero comfort. Because pain on your terms is power, pain on theirs is prison. End your day with silence, no distractions, no noise. Just one question: did I dominate or did I drift? This is mental training, not once, not sometimes, every single day. And the more you repeat these drills, the more your identity shifts. You stop chasing motivation and start building momentum. You stop begging for peace and start enforcing it. Comment below. My routine is my weapon. If you felt that, hit like and share it with someone who's ready to level up. Now it's time to unlock the ancient Stoic tool that most people ignore: stillness. Number 6, the warrior's silence, using stillness as a weapon. Silence isn't the absence of noise, it's the presence of power. Have you ever walked into a room and the loudest person had nothing to say, but the quietest one, the one who just observed? Somehow, they owned the space? That's not charisma, that's not luck, that's trained stillness. The world is addicted to noise. People talk to fill the void, not to say something meaningful. They react, ramble, overshare, expose their strategy. While the strong remain still, calculating, watching, conserving energy like a predator in tall grass. See, this is where Stoicism and dark psychology collide. Marcus Aurelius didn't just rule Rome, he ruled his impulses. He journaled in silence. He thought before reacting. He moved with strategy, not noise. Meanwhile, the manipulators of the world, they need you to speak. They want your reactions, because every word you spill is a clue. Every emotion you show is a blueprint. But when you're silent, when your face doesn't twitch and your words are rare, they panic, they guess, and that guessing gives you the upper hand. Silence creates mystery. Mystery creates power. It's the principle of scarcity in dark psychology. The less someone sees or hears from you, the more they obsess over your next move. You become unpredictable, unreadable, untouchable. Now let me break this down into practice. When someone insults you, don't explain, don't justify. Silence is your shield. When a manipulator guilt trips you, don't engage. Stillness is your sword. When the world expects you to be triggered, stay calm. Let their need for control dissolve in your composure. Because here's the truth, reactivity is weakness in disguise. They think you're soft when you yell. They think you're unstable when you over-explain. But when you say nothing, they start respecting your boundaries without you ever needing to draw them. You want to walk like a high-value man? Then move in silence and execute in precision. And no, this isn't about being passive, it's about being strategic. Stillness isn't inaction, it's calculated restraint. It's you saying, I don't need to prove anything, my presence is the statement. That's why warriors train in silence, why monks meditate in stillness, why kings speak last in every room. Because silence sharpens clarity, and clarity is the root of confidence. When you sit with your thoughts, instead of reacting to them, you learn to see the patterns. You learn your triggers, your programming, your emotional shortcuts, and you begin to take back control, not just of your actions, but of your identity. Let me give you a challenge. For the next 24 hours, Speak less, react less, observe more. Watch how the world shifts. Watch how people lean in closer, curious about what you're thinking. And when you finally speak, your words hit like a hammer because you haven't wasted them. Comment below right now. My silence speaks louder than noise. Let that be your new code. Let it live in you. If you're beginning to feel the edge we're building, tap like. Share this with a brother who's always reacting, always talking, always giving his power away. Because in the next phase, we flip the script entirely. What happens when you stop reacting, not just for a day, but for life? What does it look like to become the one who controls every room, every conversation, every energy, without raising your voice? That's what we're covering next. Number 7. When you stop reacting, you start ruling. The moment you stop reacting is the moment you start ruling. Not just ruling your time, not just ruling your space, but ruling your entire reality, because nothing owns you anymore. Think about it. Most men are slaves to whatever pushes their buttons. A disrespectful comment, they explode. A delay in plans, they spiral. A woman pulls away, they chase. That's not power, that's puppetry. And that's exactly how the world controls you, by training you to react. The algorithm triggers outrage, the news triggers fear. The people around you, they provoke weakness and call it just being real. But listen to me, kings don't react, they respond. And sometimes they don't respond at all, because not every battle deserves a war. This is the Stoic edge. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Did you catch that? You can revoke the power. You can decide, this doesn't deserve my energy. And when you do, the game changes. In dark psychology, this is called emotional dominance, the ability to stay centered while others lose themselves trying to break you. You become the frame, and once you control the frame, you control the room. You want to be respected? Stop reacting. You want peace in a toxic world? Stop reacting. You want to command loyalty, attraction, respect, fear, attention, without ever begging for it? Stop reacting, because the man who doesn't flinch becomes a mystery. And mystery, that's currency. In dating, in business, in life. Let people guess how you feel. Let them wonder what you're thinking, while you stay centered, deliberate, grounded in your mission. Next time you're tested, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, is this helping me build my kingdom, or is it pulling me back into the mud? And then choose stillness, because silence creates presence, and presence creates power. Comment below right now. I respond. I do not react. Let the world know you've left behind emotional slavery. You've stepped into emotional sovereignty. And if this message is reshaping the way you move, like the video, share it. Be the reason another man wakes up. Because in the next section, we tie it all together. Power, discipline, mystery, presence, and the final transformation. Number 8. Becoming untouchable, scarcity, power, and presence. In a world drowning in noise, chaos, and desperation, the rarest man is the one who doesn't need attention to prove power. He doesn't chase, he doesn't explain, he doesn't beg for validation, because his presence speaks before he does. And that's what makes him untouchable. Let me break this down. The world has too many men who are available to everyone, all the time. They overshare, they overreact, they overextend. But when you become scarce, when you move with purpose, not popularity, people feel the difference. They notice when you enter the room. They notice when you leave it. That's the power of scarcity, a core tactic in both Stoicism and dark psychology. In dark psychology, scarcity heightens perceived value. In Stoicism, scarcity protects peace. You don't give your energy to just anyone. You choose where your time flows, and when you speak, it matters. This is how kings are built. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming feared for your silence and respected for your restraint. Don't argue your worth. Disappear from those who question it. Don't overcompensate. Limit access to your energy. Because when you're always available, you become disposable. Your new rule. Let people earn your attention, not expect it. Let your absence speak louder than their noise. The high-value man doesn't show up to every fight. He walks away, and the world chases the mystery he leaves behind. So start being strategic with your presence. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to become so focused, so disciplined, so cold in your silence, that people feel your presence even when you're not around. Comment below. I am not for everyone. I am for the few who earn access. And if that line hit your soul, smash that like button. Because next we close this chapter. The final shift. The mental rebirth. The new code of your life. Number 9. The final shift. Rewire your mind, rebuild your life. This is it, the final shift. You've made it this far because something in you refuses to stay average. Something in you is waking up, not the weak version of you the world tried to shape, but the real you, the disciplined, dominant, deliberate man you were born to become. And now it's time to finish what we started. Rewiring your mind isn't a motivational quote. It's war. A war against years of bad programming. A war against emotions that lied to you. A war against the part of you that still seeks comfort over conquest. But here's the truth. Most never say out loud. The life you want will not arrive. You will have to build it, brick by bloody brick, with your own hands, your own habits, your own mind. No one is coming to save you, no applause, no shortcut. Just you, your willpower, and the discipline to do what most men avoid. This is what Stoicism teaches. Train your mind until it becomes your servant, not your master. This is what dark psychology reveals. Guard your focus like a crown, because every fool wants to steal it. So from this point on, you will not chase, you will attract through value. You will not react, you will respond through clarity. You will not speak to prove. You will move in silence, then dominate with results. You want to watch your life change forever? Then become the type of man who wakes up early, not because he has to, but because he's on a mission, cuts off distractions like cancer, does the hard thing on purpose daily without apology, protects his peace like a fortress, because peace is power. Comment below one final time. I command my mind, my life follows. Let that be your battle cry from this day forward. And if this message cut deep, if you're done reacting, done doubting, done delaying, then like this video, subscribe to Stoic Mate, and turn on notifications. Because this is where men get rebuilt. Not in fantasy, not in comfort, but in silence, in structure, in truth. Train your mind and watch your life bend to your will. This is Stoic Mate, and your new life begins now.